Good morning. I'm Tim, and welcome to another episode of Salty Country. Well, this week was an exciting week. We started this journey back in December, purchased the new shop, and we had some weather delays, and finally they showed up this week. They arrived on Monday and finished up on Tuesday. One thing I want to say is these guys did an outstanding job. American Building Network is the company that I purchased the building through. I think one of their sales reps was NTX Steel or something, but I'll put Anthony, my sales guys, I'll put his number in the comments. Jam up. Couldn't be more pleased. The crew popped lines on every row of screws, and everything is good and straight. They didn't miss anything. No holes anywhere where there shouldn't be. And yeah, great crew. So shout out to the crew. I had Bobby and Sergio were the two main guys that I talked to on that crew. Just a great crew. You could tell that they do this all the time. Each one of them had their own particular job, and it flowed. It was really, really impressive. All right, so I'm going to show some videos of the progress of the building going up. Very small clips, because I recorded on the GoPro for probably 6 hours of footage. GoPro ended up overheating. One of my batteries failed. So I was also while I was shooting with the GoPro, I was shooting some footage with my iPhone. And so I think I'm going to use that, but I'm going to show you some videos of the building going up, and then the finished product, and then I'll take you on a quick tour. 30 by 50 with a 12 by 25 lean-to. The lean-to is 10 foot tall and the building is 12 foot tall walls. I chose the premium walk-through door. It's got 6 windows. I want to be able to walk in there to grab something and not have to flip lights on. And that's another thing, I don't have power yet. Supposed to be meeting with an electrician today for him to take a look at it. But here on the side, we got an 8x8 roll-up door. And here on the end, we got 2 10 foot by 10 foot roll-up doors. I don't remember the exact colors, but I went with a darker gray wainscot at the bottom, and the roof is the same color. And then I did the lighter gray walls and the white trim. Didn't really know how I was gonna like it, but I really like it. I think the white trim kind of sets it off. So let's go down and take a look at it. Nice and big. All right, I'm gonna order some gaskets to fill in these corners. I've just got to find the exact ones that I want. I'm gonna stand back here in the corner. But plenty of room in here. Melody can finally use the garage once I get the things that are in the garage in here. And I'll briefly talk about how I'm gonna set this up. The roof, you may notice that it's a little bit different color on the bottom. I ordered the no drip roof system, and that was a $2,000 upcharge. And the panels have a material that's made on the bottom of the panel so that it will prevent it from condensating. But really, really looks good. Good, neat job. All right, when you come in the door here, my plan is this corner right here is gonna kind of be where I have me a desk. I'll probably start doing a lot of my video edits in here. That'll kind of be my workstation. And then my tools will kind of be across here in this area. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna put the boat all the way back in this corner. I'm probably gonna put the four-wheelers that the grandkids ride that don't get out as often. I'm probably gonna line the four-wheelers up here against the wall and tuck the jet ski in here and probably put the boat somewhere in this area so I still have room to get a bobcat or the excavator in the shop and just sitting just inside the door. I'm also trying to decide about heat. I'm thinking about getting a propane tank and putting me a gas heater in here, but one of my buddies just said, hey, you need to get you a wood burning stove. And that would be a very cheap option because I've always taken down trees here on the farm, so I would have plenty of wood. But the only downside to that is if I got a big rip roaring fire and I need to go somewhere, I just don't feel comfortable with leaving. But they got good stoves out now, so I may get a nicer stove if I go wood. But yeah, these guys did an outstanding job. They worked 14 hours the first day and 4 hours the second day and finished. And just to let you know, the first day they had, when they left that evening late, they had all the walls, the metal on all the walls. They had the framing up for the lean-to, and there was no roof panels at all, and no trim. None of the trim around the roof was on. Next morning they showed up, got busy on the roof, got the roof on this thing, got the trim run, and then they were on the road to the next one. All right, I'll try to leave a comment or a list, I should say, at the end of this video of the cost, so that everybody kind of knows the cost that I have in this thing. All in, I am around $28,000, somewhere in that ballpark. 1,500 square foot shop with 12 by 25 porch on it. All right, so let's walk outside and take a look out here. I know when I was first started and you take a shot of this thing from a certain angle, it don't look like this lean-to is as big as it is, but it's half the shop. Nice big area. It rained the day after they got it built. I had maybe a foot of wet over there when I got in and checked, and then maybe a foot over here where it was just a little bit wet where the rain had hit. But I'm sure if the direction of the rain is right, you know, there'll be rain in here sometimes. But anyway, let me get over here and we'll turn around and look. While we're right here, I'm gonna take this section of pipe out where I cut it down there. I'm gonna put a screen over it. I've got to dig up that pipe a little bit, get it set back in where it floated it and kind of made a high spot. I've got a load of gravel, and I'm going to fill this area in, this low spot right here, the trench. It's gonna be all gravel, and then I'm gonna finish filling this area solid, like right down through here, kind of this little triangle. And then probably gonna put sod on the hill or pine straw. Haven't quite decided yet, but I'm gonna get that wrapped up. This hump out here in the driveway, maybe in the next episode or two, I'm gonna take that hump out, and my son lives over in the house over there. So I always have to kind of turn toward his house and back the boat all the way down the driveway to get over here to the house. But what I want to do, up there where my trailer is parked, I can drive through this way. I'm going to cut a road down this hill right here. I'm cutting this hump out, and I'll be able to come in, drive around with the boat, come down through here into the driveway, and back right into the shop. So that's the plan. All right, back to what we're talking about. All right, here's the lean-to. Nice big area. Melody, this is probably the most exciting part for Melody. We've talked about putting a fire pit out here over the side of the building. So she's already kind of planning some furniture for this. So we shall see. All right. Headed around. Here's the scrap that they had. That will go to my scrap pile in the pasture. And once I get enough scrap, I'll get a container out here. We'll fill it full of steel, send it to recycling. And usually the steel weight that I send normally pays for the dumpster. And sometimes I get a little bit more. So out here on the farm, that's how we do it. We have like what you would say a little junk pile off back in the pasture, and things accumulate there, and then when you get enough built up, you can turn some junk into money instead of running a little bit of trash to the dump all the time and spending gas to get it there. Hang on to it for a little while if you got the room and get some money for it. All right, here's the back wall. They'll walk on around. These windows, I'm very pleased with these. They work very well. They're nice and tight. They're not a sloppy window. I didn't know what the quality of the window was going to be. I think you can upgrade to bigger windows, but these are fine. All right, here's the backside toward the slope. I chose to go with the horizontal wall panels. I just think it's a better option than the vertical as far as trying to keep the building sealed nicer than the vertical. I mean, both, there's no bad option either way. It's just with me, I was like, you know, they start at the top and all the panels overlap the panel below. So the only possible spot that water could ever get in is if it was a sideways rain and it's kind of blowing and hitting the door trim just right. But I'm going to caulk that and put the foam in the high ribs on the inside where we were looking at the light earlier. But yep, I'm happy. It's been a highly anticipated build for me. Glad to have it in. I don't want to put anything inside, any major things inside, until the electrician looks at it, gives me his time frame. If he's going to get to it fairly quickly, then I will hold off on putting my stuff in here. I did call Thursday, today is Saturday, on Thursday, and set up my final building inspection for yesterday, and everything was fine. So stick around to the end so that you can see the numbers, and maybe to help you out on if you want to put a shop in. But American Building Network, I think they're out of North Carolina, the main office. These guys came out of South Georgia, 3.5 hour drive to get here. But they have branches all over the country. Matter of fact, my salesman, he was in Texas. So stick around and let's look at the cost real quick. And I want to thank everyone for watching. Remember, if you like our content, subscribe, share it with a friend. Let's look at the numbers.